Alrighty guys, today we got a lot of new colors. Two companies today. I have Rocky Mountain Dip Powder Company. 7 colors from them. They are all 2.5 ounces. Excuse me. Then I have Dipped in Sparkle, also came in today, and I got 5 from there. I'm going to be doing a couple swatches, show you how I do my swatch process. Pretty much everyone can do them the same. I mean, anyone can do them however you want, but to save product and time, I go ahead and do the normal process of Step 1, dip. Step 2, dip. I like to dip 3 times to get the true color of the dip, and then I will activate. After the activate, depending on the powder, there's a couple companies that you don't have to buff, you don't have to file, but we will see. I have not worked with Rocky Mountain powders before, and I have worked with Dipped in Sparkle. But these are, I believe, all glitters and foils, so it'll be a little bit different, and we'll see if we need to activate or reactivate and buff after. Sometimes you don't have to. When I'm doing swatches, I generally don't like to come back after I buff and reactivate. I just go right from step 1, a couple dips, to activate. After I activate, I'll buff, and then I'll just put my clear top coat. And I like a gel top coat, so that's why I can skip the second activator and that second time around. I am using Beetle top coat. It's a gel top coat. I personally love it. It's very affordable. This is my cuticle oil. We don't need that because we don't have hands today. So let's dig in. We're gonna start with, so honestly, I always like to have a piece of paper down or something to catch my powders aside from the jar. So we're gonna open our jar. That's okay because I have a dog too, so dog hair is not a big deal to me. Right away, it's like sandy. We were on a break. I think her colors are a lot of, I don't know, her colors are named by, like, I have the one with the wedding dresses, and I know that one and this one are friends things. But then Let It Go is Disney, so I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if there's a theme really to her colors or not. But we're gonna start with, we were on a break. So you need your swatch, your color, your liquids. I'm using Rebel Liquids, Beetle Top Coat, fluffy brush. I have one for color, or one for sparkles and one for non-sparkles, and I'm glad I said that because that is my non-sparkles. Excuse me, good lord. That was disgusting. Okay. So, and that's all I really, and I'll use a buffer block maybe, eventually. Maybe. We'll see. So you're going to start with your first coat, a thin light layer all around. Make sure it's even. If it's not even, your powder won't go on even. Since it's a swatch, I go right in. And these are actually not really deep enough for even this swatch. I hit the bottom, but it's okay because it's a swatch. And it'd be okay if it was your finger too, because you're gonna put multiple layers on. So I like to let it sit for a little bit, let it really soak in before I give it a little brush. Always brush the extra off before you put more step 1 on. The second step 1 I kind of put on gloopy or goopy, I don't know. Wipe it off. I do have a liner here to go ahead and wipe off, because you do see a couple specks of this color would have contaminated my bottle. And you don't want that, because there's going to be colors that are solids that you don't want your glitters in. This kind of looks like a sandy, what is this called? We were on a break. It's sandy. It kind of looks like sand. Little specks. I don't know if I would call it glitter, but I mean, what else are you gonna call it, girl? Okay. Last one. Honestly, I haven't tried very many liquids. I have like 4 different brand liquids here, but I haven't tried any other than Revel, just because I want to use them before I go to the next bottle. You know, I don't want to have a bunch of halfsies everywhere. So 3 layers. And then I set that to the side and go ahead and, this is where your paper comes in handy. Fold it up and dump that extra in there, because a little bit goes a long way. And I always wipe it clear so I can reuse that piece of paper. And on a klutz sew, closed. We close that bad boy. And again, maybe make sure you wipe it again. Get all the extra powder off. And activate. And I don't know if there's such thing as overactivating, but I always make sure I put a ton of activator on. And I'll set that to the side for just a little bit. I'll actually do one more of this. Oh, I actually want to see what this looks like, because it was out of stock. I don't know. These jars, I mean, I guess they weigh different stuff, I forget. Some jars can be fuller than the others if the powders are more dense, depending on how dense the powders are. Like the last one was almost full, and this one is not quite as full. And this is a glitter again. This is the one with the wedding dress. Another Friends reference, so I did both the Friends colors. And wipe her down. Wipe me down. Add another. Ooh. Yeah. So I have been looking for a color similar to this, and every time I am like, oh my god, that's the color, I go to the page and look for it, and it's freaking sold out. So what did I do? I was like, I'm gonna try to make this maybe, and I'll wait till this one's done, and I'll show you, because I did make one. And then that put me into a whole nother world of dipping, and I'm like, girl, do I want to start my own line? I don't really know what all goes into having an entire line like some of these companies, but that color was to die for, and your girl made it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So 3 coats. Set that to the side. I like to make sure my brush is dusted off so we're not wasting a ton of product. Had a couple pieces of that other color in there. And that's why some people don't like to do that. Okay. Also, having a liner here will stop if your bottles or your jars are rolling around. Excuse me, good Lord. I do not have the Rona, but something's up. Okay, so my color isn't as blinky as this one. I have a lot finer glitters, but I like this chunky glitter. Okay, so honestly, I don't need to buff. I'll buff a scotch. Just barely. Give me 1 second here. Let's see what's going on here. Excuse me. Yeah. So, okay, I came right back, sorry. We're just gonna buff. Not anything crazy, just make sure it's smooth. I think a smooth swatch is very appealing. My friends come over and they're like, oh, it feels like that? I don't want that. And I'm like, bitch, no, I can get it smooth. Just say something like, I just didn't want to take all day with my swatches. But here I am. Just make sure you wipe it off after you buff to get all that loose powder out so your little shavings aren't going into your there. So that, and I'll let that sit there for a minute while I do this one. Your activator doesn't have to sit that long, but like Rebel's activator just has to sit for like 20 seconds, 15, 20 seconds, and it's ready to buff. And that does depend on how thick you do your nails and how many coats you do. You want it to sit longer and put more if you put a lot of coats. So again, I'm just buffing to make sure it's smooth. That's why I run my finger over it after I swipe it a couple times. We'll wipe it off. And then clear coat. Oh, I like this one a lot. Then we're gonna light it. I will do a video of all of my things. I'll probably try to post that one first before I put any of these out. So you might have already seen it. I am gonna do more today, but this one is gonna be it for this video. So when you see me in this again, you're gonna be like, ew, she didn't change. Well, it was the same day. Guess what? Punk. I like to put them in there for about a minute. My next video, I'm going to be doing the dipped in sparkle. So I guess I could have just shown Rocky Mountain. And these were the 2 I did today. And here's, we were on a break. And the one with the wedding dress. Okay, so Mine looks very similar. Rocky Mountains is this one. And then this is mine. It just doesn't have as much shimmer because the finer glitters. But that's it. That's my swatches. After I do my swatches, I use my label maker and type up a couple labels and slide them across. See you in the next video.